This straw for the sheet, I believe this sheet of straws was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's probably about 22 straws. But let me show you the technique and quickly how to do these fused sheets. And I'm just going to do a couple straws and not 22, but the general idea you'll get from maybe 5. So grab your straws. And you're probably wondering, well, how the heck do I keep them together? And that's the big trick here, is how do you keep these guys together? And what I did is I grabbed some double-sided tape. This is Scotch tape. You probably don't need to use double-sided tape, but I'm using it because I thought, oh, well, it'll stick to my parchment paper and it will stick to my straws, which isn't the case. It actually won't stick to the parchment paper all too well. So you just want to grab the length of your sheet. I'm just going to grab a little bit over that. And do your best to, stick it onto your parchment paper. You don't have to. You can actually line up your straws and then put it on your straws, but I'm just going to line up the tape and then put the straws on the tape. So you can see it's just going to stick right into place and they're going to stick close to each other. Now you can, when you're done, you'll see at the bottom will fray out just a little bit here. So you can put some tape along the top. This is kind of what I was recommending you do for the bottom if you wanted to. And then that way you have this very uniform little sheet here. So I'm holding it, I'm moving it, they're not moving out of place, they're not moving away from each other. This is a very helpful tip. I'm telling you, it took me a while to figure this out. Now once I melt my plastics together, they will actually not melt to my tape. My tape actually will come off. So that's really, really nice about that. Now, instead of using my fold technique, which you still can use if you wanted to, I'm just going to take another piece of parchment paper and put that over the top. And really, you need to melt these guys, but here's the tricky part, is maybe you should try a couple at a time, just so that you know the heat of your iron isn't going to melt it all the way through. So for this, you don't want to melt it all the way through. You almost want to just melt half of it. So I'm just going to give it a good 3 seconds. Just kind of go right along, and then check it, because I really, really, really want to make sure. Good. I haven't even really touched the melting point yet. So I probably can give it a good 5 seconds along here, and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So it's looking pretty good. They are a little bit puffier than I want them to be, and make sure that you're checking all of the ends to make sure they're uniform, or even if they're not uniform, don't worry about it too much. It'll just make it look that much more natural. But I do want it to be melted just a little bit more. Don't be afraid to go over it a couple more times, but like I said, just make sure that you're not melting it all the way through, because unless you want a perfectly flat sheet, which you can completely accomplish, for the sort of glassy look, I want to have half of the straws melted. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not too bad. Maybe a little too much melting, but it's pretty good. All right, so that's going to, so those have fused together. They're going to dry off a little bit, and I could probably rip them up a little bit. Yeah, they're going to need a little bit of time. If you rip them up too soon, the bottoms of them, which are sort of the puffy side of them, will actually they will rip off, and you'll get like little holes, which, like I said, it's okay. It's kind of natural looking. And also, if you start peeling up, then this is going to give you a more peeled type of form. And some people might want that for different products, but we want more of a flat form here. Who's that? All right. That's so funny. Yes, I know. I know. This is what Craftastic is about. It's about weird people like myself melting things or skewering things that shouldn't be skewered. It brings back a really fun nostalgic feeling, doesn't it? I really enjoy it a lot. Okay, so now that we have the two techniques down, I've showed you guys how to make our crumpled kind of flowery, natural stone-looking form, and then a flat sheet, which you can make a huge flat sheet out of. And I recommend doing this because it is just great to have around, and you can get so many ideas from that. Now, let's move over to painting. And actually, Cliff, you can move it back to the head cam, and I can just see what's going on, and then we will move on to craft cam again. All right, so let me just show you from here. Here's the sheet I was talking about. Woohoo! Hi, Vicki. How you doing? So yes, we created some fused straws into a sheet, which can be used for cutting out pendants that will be a little bit more flat, kind of like, where did the other one that I did go? I don't know where it is. And then we did a crumpled type of effect, which will create a pendant that looks like this. And that's super, super easy to do. Now you can tell my Lady Gaga glasses, that's actually from a sheet of straws that I did. So that's why I was using a little secret ingredient, which are my straws. All right, so what is Ashley's name? Oh, Ashley's Kyla's friend. All right, woohoo! Thanks. Thanks for bringing Ashley, Kyla. I'm glad that you're both here. I don't know if it would die cut, Madeline. I can send you this if you want me to, and you can try and die cut it, but I won't be responsible if it breaks anything. So, so we'll talk a little bit more about those wacky glasses that we have. And let's move my big ol' ironing board so that we can just show you some fun techniques on painting our neat little plastic projects. Oh, do you guys want to see my dress? It's really, I just like the belt and stuff like that. But it's not cute unless I'm wearing one of my fun accessories. So let me just put that on real quick because it really completes the whole outfit. Everybody was like, you're so green today. All right. So let's put that on so you guys can see what it looks like. Woohoo! Selena's going to go see Lady Gaga in July. Well, you know what, Selena? You should craft some really fun Lady Gaga glasses. I did mine out of the 3D glasses that I purchased from going to see a 3D movie recently. I saw How to Train Your Dragon in 3D, and I saw, what was that movie? Clash of the Titans, I think I saw? No, it was Avatar or something like that. Yeah, so make some fun Lady Gaga crafty things. Now let me unplug my iron so that something over off to the side does not melt. And, I know my headband is, I don't know where my headband went. Maybe I should do some pendants and put them on a headband, or do something really funky fresh for a new headband so that you guys can see the top of my head with something different on it. I know you've seen my regular headband many different times, and it's the same headband. Oh, here's my other pendant that I made from the flat straw fusion. So, woohoo! Kyla has headbands for me. And Kyla, if you give me some headbands, I will make you some funky fresh headbands. So let's move on to painting. Who likes to paint? Who has acrylic paint in here? Now that is some plastic bling. Woohoo! Looks like we have some people in here that like to paint. That's great. I only have acrylic paints. I have not painted on anything plasticky with anything else other than acrylic, so this is what I'm working with. I'm going to show you some of the brands that I'm using. I'm using Craft Smart. This is metallic gold. I do recommend for this type of project to use some metallics. So I'm also going to use a metallic bronze in here. Yes, Vicky's totally right. And then I'm going to use some matte colors as well. I have a brown. I use some red in some of my other projects or my other pieces. And this color, which I just love, this is a Liquitex actual acrylic brand, and I really like this a lot. It's thicker. I just really like it. These are all very inexpensive acrylics, so anybody who is very serious about acrylic painting, please don't laugh at me. But I have a little bit of everything, every type of craft, and that's why I have to have kind of the cheaper versions of them. So I hope you like that. Now, somebody probably said something about eco-friendly, and I know that you can get eco-friendly friendly paints on Earth Safe Finishes, and they are fantastic. I tell you what, I've actually had lots of talks with them in the last couple years. They have amazing finishes, just not for just, you know, painting on canvas, but also for painting your house, painting your interior, all kinds of things. So I really recommend looking at Earth Safe Finishes if you're looking for an eco-friendly paint option. Definitely, I love to give them plugs anytime somebody asks about eco-friendly paints. Okay, let's see, let's get my pieces. So I have this piece, and I have, we'll just do this one. Okay, let's go back to Craft Cam 2010, and we'll rock this house. Okay. All right. No problem, Vicki. All right. So you'll see that I have this right here. I'm going to try and find a better background for it so that you can see it a little bit better as it comes to life. And really what you want to do, and I like to think of this in threes, you'll see here I have one already painted. It's kind of a, you know what, let's go back to my head cam. That's a better shot for some reason tonight. Let's go back there. Ooh, thanks for the link, Mary. Melu, thanks for the link. Okay, so you'll see here I have kind of a three tones here. I have a pink, or kind of a magenta on the back, which shows through on the front a little bit, hints of it. And then I just went over with some of my teal, and then you probably can't see it on camera too well, but I actually filled some sparkles in as well. So that's the basic technique. Use three different colors. Make one of them like a metallic type of color, and you're going to get a good mix there, especially if you're going for a more natural look. Now, if you go monotone, it could look a little, I don't want to say trashy in the sense of a type of person, but it can actually look kind of like a little piece of trash. So you know, the more colors you can use, probably the better. 3 is good. Use a metallic in there to get that shine. If you don't use a metallic, maybe use some sparkles. And if you don't use sparkles, maybe finish it with a varnish such as the Beacon liquid laminate. That could work for you. And just to give it a little bit of shine. Now, you can work with some muted type of textures to make it look maybe a little bit more woodsy, that kind of thing. But from what I can tell, giving a little bit of shine sort of just kicks it up a notch. And then, of course, adding kind of shiny little details to it, such as beads or just little dabs of sparkles, will really also kick it up a notch as well. Okay, so I'm actually going to do just a little bit of painting on this camera because for some reason my craft cam tonight just is not looking so great. Now, I'm going to try and make this guy look probably just a little bit more teal than I have for the other ones, and I'm just going to give myself a little bit of this Liquitex, and I'm going to paint the back, and we're going to get dirty. This is what I love about painting. You get a little bit dirty, get your hands good. So I'm just going to do the back. You'll see the back of this. You probably can't tell, but it's flat. So this is the ridged side. This is the back, and it's totally flat. So I'm going to color the back of my piece this kind of teal color, see what it looks like on the front, and then maybe dab a little bit more teal on the front. For the most part, you want to wait for each color to dry and you know, then paint on your next color. But I'm super impatient, and that's just not the way that I've been doing these, and they've been turning out pretty good for me. So I'm okay with the colors melding just a little bit, and you'll see that actually what you're staring at right now is not what I painted on. I painted on this. So you can get that kind of neat effect there. It is eco, not trash. Thanks, Pat. So you can get that cool kind of glassy effect. Like I said, what you're staring at right now is not the painted side. So that is really neat that you can get that color to shine through. Now, just to give it a little bit more depth, we need another color in there. And I'm going to give it a metallic bronze because I just want to give it a color that's metallic-y but